Ugh. Oh, hey everybody. Singing the Yayo song from from fucking Scarface. Rush, rush, gimme Yayo. She never took a chance before. Now she's in a hurry. Something, something, can't dance more. Faster, 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 faster. Rush, rush, gimme Yayo. Suckle at the teat, yes. Pull up to your spot, grab a stool, find an open teat, and begin suckling. It's time for Highdeology. Can't sing, truly shameful. I mean, what am I? I'm not a singer guy. Bet I can sing better than you, though. That's not true, Paul. I'm kawaii cast. You can't sing anywhere near as good as me. Anybody's ever heard Kawaii Cost speak? He kind of has a Brett Keenish quality. Hi guys, it's me, Kawaii Cost. Just watching Weezer with Weird Al playing Africa and thinking of TJ. Yeah, TJ hates that song. TJ hates that song. Oh man. So I think I might be getting sick. The reason I say that is because, well, I woke up early this morning with like the worst fucking headache ever. And I was cold. Like the chills, you know what I mean? It wasn't cold in the room. I was just like, I had the chills. And I'm achy. Like my muscles all feel slightly sore. My legs were like aching and while I was laying in bed today. Yeah, I think I've caught something. I hope it's not true. But it kind of seems like it is. Donor, what are you doing? Why don't you chill? Thank you. The squirts? No, I haven't had any squirts. What else do you do for a living besides YouTube? Do you rap? Yeah, I have a rap career. Little fat, little salty. You might have heard some of my stuff. Dropping any good avalanches lately? Just little ones here and there. It's starting to become a subconscious thing, so it's working. It's working. Hims is lying. Hams is lying. Ha 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 ha. Wow, that was like I don't know, 12 too many ha's, dude. It wasn't even that funny. You don't think it's hypertension, do you? I mean, unless I developed hypertension last night? No, I don't think so. I think it's probably just a stomach bug or some shit. I don't know. We'll see. Maybe I'll start feeling better today, or maybe not. No, I don't watch It's Always Sunny. I don't really care to. Howdy, man roach. Happy birthday, no, not you, Paul. Oh, okay. Well, that's good because it's not my birthday. Tain't my birthday yet. Then who? When is it? My birthday is April Fool's Day. I don't have to watch It's Always Humid in Louisiana because I live that show. Whoa. That's way too deep, dude. I'm not even going to read that. I'm not even going to read that comment. It's too real. You look like you could play a character in a show. Go try acting. Yeah, I'll go try my hand at acting. That's a good idea. Let's go do it. I hate birthdays. Reminds me that time is going too fast. Wow. Well, I've done acting before. I'm a trained stage actor. I've been in a bunch of plays. So I'm comfortable doing the acting thing. I just don't, it's not what I want to do for a living. I'm meant for the screen. I've got a face for movies, dude. A face. Do all hipster bands have animals in their name? Yeah. Floating weasel. Cerebral codfish. Panda bear extraordinaire. I'm about to jump into the world of Monster Hunter World for my first Monster Hunter game. Any tips? Any tips? Yeah, play it multiplayer. Like, find other people to play with. Use the SOS system if you're having trouble beating something, and bring some other people into your game and have fun. I don't know. Spend a little time learning the control scheme because it's a little strange at first. But I don't know, dude. Have fun. There's a reasonably good tutorial. Teach you how to do things. Have you checked out the Warhammer? Yeah, I snagged it. I snagged it, dude. Went over there and got it. I haven't played it yet, though. Holy smokes. Great sword people, huh? Yeah, I don't mean the great sword. I'm a Lancy. I'm a fancy lad lancer. And a heavy bow gunner. I couldn't get into that game. I'll probably try again sometime. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know why it wasn't huge all over the world. It's been like a huge franchise in Japan. It's got limited release in the United States on some of the games. But it never really took off, I guess, until now. What amount of money would it take for you to quit DFF? Somebody's just going to pay me to quit? Just pay me to walk away from it? I don't know, like $10 million, $20 million, something like that? Hey, Paul. I won a case for a refund of $249 from a broken PS3 with PayPal, but they are taking no action refunding me. Should I seek a lawyer for $200? Probably not. You ain't gonna make your money back, that's for sure. I have not listened to the new Eminem album, nor probably will I for a while. I'm not all that interested. I don't really enjoy sober Eminem, so I'm pretty sure that unfortunately Eminem is another one of these artists that was way better when he had a drug problem. At least for my dollar. I seen an anime film series that made me cry? No, I don't think so. I might have gotten misty at, what's that one? Spirited Away? I might have gotten a little bit of, you know, a little misty-eyed over that one, because it's pretty sad. Oh, man. Dude, this headache. It's killing me, Smalls. These coughs are like agony, and my eyeballs hurt. It's got like all this pressure on my eyeballs. Ugh. Fuck this shit. I think I might be dehydrated too. I finished The Sopranos, yeah. I just need to force down some water. Not hungover at all. I don't drink really. Did I cry? No. Tony definitely does. Water or unflavored Pedialyte. Well, I've got water going right now, so hopefully that'll work. Yeah, I watched the first few episodes of Westworld. I wasn't able to get into it. I thought that the first 2 episodes were pretty good, and then once the plot started, I was like, I don't care about any of this. Okay, I'm done. I'd be honest with you, cool, man. I've been thinking about just watching The Sopranos again and taking notes this time. You know, I've heard from people who really love it that every time you watch it, you see things that you didn't see before. You see little, I don't know, references, little Easter eggs and stuff. So I'm not a big TV person. So when I find a show that I really like, I'm apt to watch it a bunch of times. Deadwood, HBO series Deadwood, I've seen, I don't know how many times. I've seen a bunch of times. Have I seen Mr. Robot? No, I have not seen Mr. Robot. God damn it. God damn it. Oh. I watched a movie last night that had to be, I mean, I don't know, one of the worst sequels I've ever seen. A lot of people probably don't even know this exists. But if you've seen American Psycho, which is a really great movie, they made a sequel. They made an American Psycho 2, which I don't know how it got made. I don't know how they got the rights to call it an American. Yeah, it's got Mila Kunis and fucking what's his name, Captain Kirk, the old guy. Not the the old Captain Kirk from the original series, and Mila Kunis. Oh yeah, for sure, Mila Kunis can get it, but that set aside, Shatner, yeah. Shatner plays, I don't even know how to explain this movie. So it starts off with this burst of exposition that implies that Patrick Bateman was killed during one of his murders, that he tied up this woman and the kid that she was babysitting and was going to kill the woman, but the little kid escaped and stabbed him with one of his own ice picks, right? And that little girl who did that grows up to be Mila Kunis. And Mila Kunis is obsessed with serial killers as a young woman in college, of course, because she survived Patrick Bateman. And so she decides that she wants to become a criminologist and goes to a school that's known for sending a lot of people to Quantico to be in the FBI, because that's her dream, to be in the FBI so she can catch more serial killers. But there's a bunch of other smart kids in the school that are competing with her for this TA position that's going to secure her a spot at Quantico. So she starts killing them. She starts murdering all of the people that are standing in her way of getting the teacher's assistant position. It's stupid. You wouldn't believe how stupid it is. It's like, it has really nothing to do with American Psycho, except for the loose tie-in of her being one of his victims that ended up killing him. I mean, yeah, it's really bad. It's filled with like this shitty like soundtrack. Like the soundtrack to it is all this like really. It sounds like like it was made in the like 2009, but it sounds like 90s like soft alternative. And it's literally like, it sounds like they wrote songs that are supposed to just match every emotion that's going on in the scene. So it's like, she'll be walking through the school at the beginning, right? And she's Mila Kunis, so she's looking really, really good. And they got the slow-mo walk with her hair bouncing and stuff. And there's a little indie song going, she's beautiful, and everybody knows it. She's beautiful. And then like, she'll be sad about some guy breaking up with her, or something happens that makes her sad. And there's a little montage song of her going like, you know, it's like, there's like a little montage of her sitting there like this, and like, she always feels sad. She always feels sad. She never feels glad. You know, and you're like, what? Like, what happened? How did this happen? It's really bad. You should watch it though. I mean, honestly, it's worth it. It's worth checking out because, like, especially if you've seen American Psycho and you like shitty movies, it's one of the most, like, unrelated sequels I've ever seen. One of the most blatant cash-in films I've ever seen. So, whoa, dude. It's raining pretty hard. Let's see if you guys can see it. You probably don't have the best angle on it. No, not really. It's that real light, misty rain right now. Let's see here. Like the real super light, almost mist-like rain. But I like it. We've needed this shit. The air quality here has been dog shit for the last week or two. Wanted to go to the quarter today, but it's raining here and gonna rain all fucking day, yeah. I wouldn't want to be running around the French Quarter in the rain. I mean, I guess you could get a poncho or something and still do it. I know I've been down near there in the rain before, and people are out doing their thing still. Thought you Louisiana folk didn't allow yourselves to get, you know, flustered by the rain. I thought you were used to it. It's my favorite kind of rain, when the sky is really overcast and the little droplets come down. Yeah, that's exactly what's going on here. You can't really see many distinct clouds. It's just one big kind of matte overcast of dark gray. But it's about to pick up. I mean, it's about to get real rainy out here. I may have to move my phone elsewhere because it's kind of blowing in sideways. It's kind of blowing in sideways over here. Why would you hope that? Smoking some skunk ape? Cool. seen any Art Deco in New Orleans. Art Deco? I don't know, man. I'm not into all the architecture stuff, but I've seen a lot of cool architecture here. I wouldn't know what to call it. There's a lot of old Victorian style houses here, so that's kind of cool. Dude, Brianna, are you a poet? Are you a poet for a living? I've always wanted a shotgun house. Too expensive, though. A shotgun house? Is that what they call those? The little split level, like brownstone walk-ups in Louisiana? Shotgun house? It's kind of cool. I think they're really awesome, man. They're really cool looking, but yeah, I'm sure they're super expensive. First time in your chat on these. I remember when I met you at the Ohio meetup for DP. Best time ever. What up, dude? Well, you should come to one of our DFF meetups. Shotgun house is a narrow rectangular domestic residence, usually more than about 12 feet wide, with rooms arranged one behind the other and door. Oh, okay, that's kind of cool. So just a long series, like a long hallway with rooms adjacent to it. That's really neat. Really functional way of like designing houses. Yeah, I've never seen a house like that, but that's a really cool concept. Bought my house for $110,000, so you can't beat that. 4 bedrooms. Yeah, I mean, well, I don't know if you can't beat. Can you beat? You probably beat that elsewhere in the world, but not around here. Trying to remember what I bought my house for in California. I think it was about 200,000 or something. I think that was our hard limit. I think our hard limit was 190, and we ended up paying or getting that house for 200. What a nightmare. There's a new series on Netflix that exposes all the shady business shit Trump did before he was president. I mean, if you want to see what's some of the shit that's still going on in that orbit too, watch Kyle Kulinski's videos, because he covers all the weird shenanigans going on in the Trump financial orbit that aren't really being covered by the news. There's tons of stuff like nepotism and, you know, trading cabinet positions and allowing access to people politically because they've donated money or are members of his Mar-a-Lago resort. There's all kinds of crazy shit. Whoa. All right. Now it's coming down proper. Look at that. Yeah. That's some rain, yo. Coming straight down too. Woof. Pretty crazy. I think I want to get like a like some tarp for back here and block off this little. I've seen some other people in the complex have done it. They've put some tarp up, like to block off the view a little bit, give themselves a little privacy up here. Because right now I'm basically like in a bird cage, where anybody that walks by can just kind of see my fat ass sitting up here. Wow. What you think, Dino? You like the rain? Dino actually likes the rain. He's a water dog. So weird, but it's true. Dino, he shocked us when we went, because he's never really been around. We've never taken him to a lake or anything. And then when we were in Washington, me, Ashley, TJ, and Chelsea all got a cabin in the woods. And we went up there, and there was a big lake up there, and we took Dinor and Salvador. Salvador's always liked the water, so he got off in the water, and fucking Dinor just waited out there after him. I was like, what? He's so scared of everything. He's so, like, tentative and nervous about everything, but he doesn't give a shit about water. He just, like, bloop, walked right out into it. He does it here, too. It pisses me off. There's, like, I don't know if you guys can see it, but down there's kind of like a little drainage river that runs, that fills up when it rains. You can kind of see it down there in the grass. As it rains harder and harder, that'll get deeper and deeper. And then when I take Dinor down, I'll have to watch him because he'll want to wade out in the middle of that. He doesn't give a shit. Just go like waist deep out there. Wow. Sorry. Telling lies. Is that weird cartoon that people are watching? I keep seeing clips of it on Twitter. Eating grapes, no papa. Telling lies, no papa. Open your mouth, ha ha ha. It's like, what? Do you like dried fruit? Hell yeah, dude. There's this place in California called Casa de Fruta. It's kind of up in the coastal range, about 100 miles outside of the Bay Area, up in the mountains. And it collects, it's like a big giant farmer's market that runs 365 days a year and stocks all of the fresh fruit that grows in the valley and all kinds of dried fruit and stuff. Dude, one of my favorite things to do is go there and just buy some dried apricots or I love all dried fruit. I'll just eat it all day. It's delish. Yeah, it's near Gilroy, exactly. Well, it's through Gilroy. But it's really awesome. I want to take Ashley there. Because I've talked to her about it. It's one of those childhood places that, like, is really special to me. Because it's awesome. It's like I've never been to a place like it, so. Yeah, dried apricots, dried peaches, dried apples are really good. Apple chips or whatever they make out of them. Bubblicious grape vape, yeah. Do you hate Dr. Oz more than Dr. Phil and Dr. Drew combined? I mean, no, I don't hate any of the dudes. I don't really think hate accomplishes much. Well, I guess we're done with the hard rain. I think they're scumbags, but I don't hate them. I dislike you sometimes, okay? I don't hate you guys. If I hated you guys, I wouldn't be here. You know, I just dislike you. Sometimes you get on a roll, and it annoys the shit out of me, you know? Dr. Phil is daddy. Come to daddy. What's that black thing? What black thing? God damn it. Whoa. Whoa, buddy. Whoa, buddy. Your tripod looks like a gun? It does? Yeah, it's like a little tripod for my phone. I've got it hooked to the thing over there, and then my phone just kind of floats for me so I can move it around if I want to. You know what I mean? Pretty neat. Pretty neat little gadget. I'm going to get another one for inside. So I've got this one out here. I'm going to get another one for inside. Although I don't think this one's holding up too well in the weather, so it's probably going to need to be replaced. This thing, I think it was like 40 bucks or something. 45 bucks. Paul has a thicky dicky. A thick dick. Put my phone on a drone, that'd be cool. Could use the thing that holds my phone for this and just attach it to a drone that hovers around me. That'd be sweet. Next level Highdeology right there, man. We just need drone technology to get to the point where like battery life is long enough for a drone like that to last for 6 hours of continuous flight. You know what I mean? And then like that's one of those futurism things that I think is going to be really cool. People in the near future, I'd say 10 to 20 years from now, will have personal drones that, you know, it'll be the next gadget that everybody wants. It'll be a drone that is, you know, like programmed to stay near you, that follows you from place to place and avoids, you know, avoids obstacles and stuff automatically. It can play, well, that's another thing too, is that they need to work on the quietness factor of the drone. I've already seen some drones that are really like pushing the envelope on that in terms of quietness, and they're getting better. But right now, yeah, the big kind of drones are all very, yeah, you don't want that. But once they kind of get this whisper quiet drone, you know, it's going to be pretty cool. Can light your path for you at night. It can play music. It can provide you directions. It can give you a bird's eye view of the area around you. You can order it to go up high and kind of give you a panoramic view of the city from where you are, and then kind of zoom back down. It gives you that real-time mapping ability, which is kind of cool. So a ghost from Destiny 2, something like that, but way more consumer-driven. Less far future murderous soldier-driven, and more 16-year-old walking to school wanting to look cool for his friends, so he's got a personal drone. Do you think people will adapt to driverless cars easy, or do you think there will be too many stubborn people? It's going to take a long time. It'll take a long time. It'll take a generation or two for people to really, I mean, I think the millennial generation and the one following it are going to be just fine with it. But the baby boomers and Generation X and all of the rest of us are going to take a long time to come around to the idea. But we'll be dying off soon anyway. Yeah, we'll all be dying off soon anyway. You seen when Mythbusters hooked up a camera above a truck so they could handle it in third person like GTA? Yeah, that's really cool. That sort of thing is going to be like, think about it. Your personal drone could follow your car and give you a 360-degree view of traffic surrounding your car. It could fly ahead and give you visuals on traffic problems up ahead. I mean, it could be pretty awesome. How do you earn money to live, Paul? I'm a podcaster who has one of the top 100 Patreons in the world. Anything else? I'm a millennial and I love to drive. I'm not getting a damn self-driving vehicle. Cool. Does it feel weird to know you're famous in a sense? I'm not famous. Famous is like when you can't leave your house without somebody there to take a picture of you. I might be like, I might be a notable person in terms of like, there are people in different cities that'll recognize me on sight, but I'm not famous. I don't want to be. I mean, that might come with the territory if the FF becomes a huge thing or something, but it's not something I've ever chased. Hey, Paul, I agree with you on our technology addiction and the dopamine loop, but I'm also a technology advocate, transhumanist. How do you think that we should balance this? Hope that made sense. Well, I mean, like, yeah, I'm not a Luddite. Like, I'm not talking about walking back. I'm just talking about using our technology responsibly and realizing what the effects that it has on our brains. You know, I don't want to see us stopping the development of new technology. I just don't want that new technology to be developed for the sole purpose of keeping somebody locked in a dopamine loop. I'd rather it be designed to make life easier and better on this planet. Think we could avoid do you think we can avoid the imminent collapse of our ecosystem? I mean, according to climate scientists, no. The vast majority of climate scientists, every time they talk about the future when it comes to our ecology, they talk about how last year we made these predictions and this year it actually went, you know, you'll hear things like, yeah, we thought that the ocean would warm by 0.02 degrees this year and it actually warmed by almost a full degree. It's going faster. It's accelerating. Like the scientists are making kind of doomsday predictions and finding that the actual numbers when another year goes by, they find usually that they undershot the damage. So I don't think we can save ourselves, guys. I think it's over. Now, I don't think it's going to happen tomorrow. I think it's going to be a long, torturous decline. But I don't think there's anything we can do. I don't think there's any Band-Aid we can put on this. You know, the startling statistics, in 20 years, most of the large fish in the ocean will be gone due to overfishing and changes in their environment. Just think about that. Think about how many people on this planet support themselves on a diet that is mostly pulled out of the ocean. Think about what's going to happen when the fishermen start bringing home less and less. How long before the American way of life is severely affected? I don't know. I don't have a crystal ball, man. What jobs did you do before podcasting? I worked at, my first job, I worked at a Wendy's. I also worked at a place called CRA, Container Recycling Alliance. That was a job that, you know, I stood on a conveyor belt and I watched little chunks of recyclable glass go by and I tried to pick out any metal or ceramic. So I did that, and then I worked for MCI WorldCom as a phone technology support guy for about a year. And then that company went belly up and I was laid off and I got a job at Starbucks. I was hired on as just an entry-level guy and I ended up as a manager. I stayed with Starbucks for 8 years. And then about the beginning of my 8th year at Starbucks, I got the opportunity to apply for a position at the school district in the little town I lived in as a technology support guy. I applied, I got the position, and I spent 7 years doing that. So that's my work history prior to being a podcaster. Does being a store manager pay okay? Sure, you can make a living on it. I was able to pay for my apartment, you know what I mean, and my car payment, and I was actually able to buy my little car outright, pay my entire car loan off by cashing in Starbucks stock that was granted to me as a perk, as part of my employment benefits. So, where did you get your tech skills from? I have no formal technology training, but I was raised by a computer nerd. So my dad used to build computers back in the day. Built a HomeKit Amiga, built a HomeKit Commodore 64, 128. I just kind of grew up around a computer dork. So I had a facility for it. And I was applying for a position with computers that I really knew nothing about either. Most of my experience was on the the PC Windows side of the format, and the district that I worked at was a Macintosh district, so I had to learn Unix and all of that bullshit. But I was able to bring myself up to speed enough to pass their little entry-level test, and I was able to schmooze the interviewers well enough to pass that. So the personality test, because if you're going to be a customer service person, especially like a front-facing tech guy, you're going to have to be a nice dude. You're going to have a good handle on how to smile and make people happy. So all the customer service work that I did in the past really helped get me that job, I think. Having 8 years of direct front-facing customer service was a boon for me in getting that job. But it wasn't long after I was hired that the job description for that position was rewritten to require a bachelor degree in computer sciences. So, I got in like a year and a half before the rules changed, and I would have been unable to get that position. Yeah, it worked out very nice. It was a lucky break for me for sure, and it was a good job. It was a tough job, man. Probably the hardest job that I ever worked. And I busted my ass at a lot of pretty hard jobs. Say what you want about Starbucks, that's a tough job, man. On your feet all day, absorbing everybody's fucking negative energy, covered head to toe in fucking coffee and syrup and shit, cleaning. It's just a constant fucking barrage. But that computer tech job was the hardest job I ever worked, for sure. It was just nonstop. And I mean, like, the anxiety that came with that job, because it was a help desk based job. So I had 3 school sites in the district office that I was personally responsible for overseeing the tech support needs of. And my help desk was just always full. It always had at least 35 items in it. And I would work all day trying to get that number down, but as I'm working, more things are coming in. So it's just never ending. Constant working before and after school, because you've got to do things that would be disruptive to teachers while they're teaching, so you got to be there early or stay late. Oh man, during the summers, like, you would think the summers for my job position, because there's no teachers on campus, so you're like, oh man, yeah, you must have had pretty smooth sailing for the summers. No, the summers were when we did all the big projects, so all the moving, all the setting up of new computer labs, just endless rewirings, backbone upgrades, so replacing switches and hubs and shit with newer, faster gigabit switches. And I mean, it's just constant, hot, sweaty bullshit. School IT is super hard, I agree. Why did you leave the school district job? Because it was driving me insane. As good a job as it was, the constant negative energy coming off of everybody that I worked with, and not just the people in the tech department. I'm talking about the teachers I've served, the principals that I served, the district office level employees that I was personally responsible for. It was just negative. And I'm a really empathetic person, and I would show up to these campuses and see these kids walking around every day, getting horrible educations and being failed. And I'd see teachers that I spent hours and hours and hours working personally with, not learning a thing, having the same problems that I taught them how to solve themselves, or causing the same problems that I taught them, that they were responsible for over and over and over again. Saw teachers that didn't care. I saw principals that didn't give a fuck. And all of it is punctuated by a bunch of kids that are getting really fucked over. Just, they're not getting an education. They're not getting a good education and being failed. So I couldn't hang. I worked it for 7 years at various levels of responsibility, and I could have worked that job for the rest of my life, but that was really why I quit it. Was the pay any good? The pay was really good. I mean, it wasn't over the top good. I think I was making about $22 an hour at the end of the day. It was a salaried position, but I think it broke down to about $22 an hour, assuming a 40-hour work week. Now, overtime was time and a half, so I probably made a little more during the summer when I was working a lot of OT. But yeah, that was a hard job, man. And I just couldn't hang with it anymore. It was driving me nuts. What's the worst thing I've ever seen in the school district? I don't know, man. I don't have any like super horror stories, but the one that I've told, and I know I've talked about this before, but the one that I've told people that really got under my skin was this freeze shit that they started doing. When it was weird for me too, because a lot of the schools that I was responsible for were schools that I attended as a child. One of them was Millview Elementary School, and that was my K through 6 childhood school. And I was personally responsible for all of the technology at that school, along with 2 other schools. And one day, this was right around the time I first got hired, I was walking out across the recess yard during recess while the kids were out there. And the bell rang, which, was the signal that recess is ending, so you need to go line up and all, whatever, get ready to go back to class. The bell rang, and then one of the teachers out there on duty had a bullhorn, and she screamed, "Freeze!" like just as loud as she could into this bullhorn, and kept screaming it, "Freeze! Freeze! Freeze!" until all the kids had just like stopped in their tracks. And we're totally quiet and still. And I stopped too. I was like, what the fuck? And then she goes, as soon as everybody was super quiet, not moving at all, she said, "Line up!" And all the kids quietly shuffled to their lines. It was that. And then another thing in that vein was the lunchtime shit that went on. I used to have lunch at that school, and other, like I saw this happen at other schools too. But lunchtime was like this fucking regiment. It was like prisoner lunch. It was like, kids are locked in these classrooms all day, and they're antsy. They've got all this energy. You've been boring them with this fucking bullshit curriculum all day. They've got all this energy. You let them out for lunch, and yeah, that's their time to like socialize and giggle and have a good time with one another and eat their lunch. Not anymore. Not anymore. Now it's silent time. If they talk too loudly, they're allowed to talk. But if somebody gets too rowdy, that bullhorn comes out again. "Everybody be quiet. You will now sit silently because you have shown that you cannot keep yourselves quiet. So you will eat in silence. I don't want to hear a peep. I don't want to hear a peep." And it's like, they're fucking second graders. These are second graders. So that kind of shit, man. I faced that every day of my life for 7 years, and it finally took its toll on me to the point where I didn't want to work there anymore. And so I decided at that point to go back to school full-time, which I did. But about 3/4 of the way through my first semester, my marriage ended, and I left California, went to Texas I don't know what my plan was. Build a new life, I guess, get a job somewhere else, maybe go back to school and live on savings for a couple of years. But about, I think it was like a week after I left California and got to Texas, I got a call from TJ, which was super rare for TJ to call me on the phone. And he's like, "Hey, we'd like to offer you a job." I was like, oh my God, what timing? So that ended up working out. That's how I got into the podcasting thing, and that's what I've been doing for around about 4 years now, give or take. Ever think about writing a book? Maybe. Is podcasting the best job you've ever had? It's certainly the one that confers the most creative freedom onto me. It allows me to use the things that I think I'm best at. So I guess in those terms, it is. It's not the most secure job I've ever had. The profit from it tends to go where the wind blows it, but I'm willing to put up with that for the opportunity to get to be an entertainer in a certain way. I already have the title of the book. I'm storyboarding it now. I've never written a book, so it's definitely something and it's not something that I want to spend a bunch of time on right now, but the name of the book, or at least the working title I have, is Beware the Giant Worm. How many states have I lived in? I've lived in California, Arizona, Texas, Washington, and Louisiana. The fuck is that? Does that dude's horn go off every time he revs his engine? Beep, beep. Beep, beep, Richie. I did. I said Arizona. I said California, Arizona, Texas, Washington State, and Louisiana. How did you meet TJ? We were both YouTubers way back in the day. I started my YouTube channel, I think in 2006 or early 2007. It was right around the time TJ started his. I think he beat me by a few months. We're part of the YouTube atheist community. He was a way bigger personality than I was, but every once in a while I'd upload a rant, and he and I started as adversaries and then kind of became allies, I guess. He would, promote my stuff when he thought I did something really good, and then fast forward to the Drunken Peasants. I was asked on that as a guest, and people liked me enough that I was asked back a few times, and that's about it. That's about how it works. You found me through dendrophilian. Dendrophilian. That guy. Yeah, I didn't realize he watched me, so that's interesting. I remember that dude. He front-paged a logical piece. That's cool. I did not know that. I did not know that. That was news to me. Are there ever going to be any guests on DFF? Yes. There have been guests already on DFF, and there will be in the future. They won't all be just family members and personal friends. But they will be few and far between, and they will be selected for the topic. Like, we're not just going to have an interview show. We're going to have a show where we have somebody join us, and we would like those somebodies to be people that speak with some authority in the field or have some interesting ideas about whatever it is we're going to be talking about. Yeah, it sucked. That our setup was just so fucking retarded back in the day. It still is, honestly. Like, we still have to figure out exactly how to make a Skype or Discord conversation work with our setup. But once we figure all that shit out, it should be relatively simple to have people. DFF Schindler's List with Galen as a guest. That would be funny. That would actually be fun. Video Game Underground has the best prices on games around. Wow. Wow, you typed out an ancient meme. Congratulations, dude. Paul, have you looked into Office 365 yet? I have no idea what the fuck that is, or why I would look into it. Dynor would be a great guest. Yeah, I think so too. I don't know, dude. You'd have to ask Galen. He just told me it's the worst film ever made. He said it's like literally the worst movie ever made. So you'd have to, you'd have to ask Galen for his clarifications on that. I wouldn't want to put woids in his mouth. Paul, why is someone in the kitchen with Donna? It's Dinah. It's not Donna. Someone's in the kitchen with Dinah. Someone's in the kitchen, I know. Something's in the kitchen with Dinah, strumming on the old banjo. Ba-ring, ding, 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 ding. Ba-ring, ding, 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 ding. Something's in the kitchen with Dinah. Something's in the kitchen with Dinah. YouTube Gargoyles 1972. Okay. The nose of woe. Yeah, this is a big giant beak of a nose, man. Got a big hook nose. It's the Parky nose. All the men on my dad's side of the family have this very nose. This self-same nose. You guys gonna release merch? Yes. There's plans for merch. I don't know what a timeline is, but there will eventually be some really cool shirts and some posters for sale. So just stay tuned. We're working on it. Very Irish looking. Well, that's what I am. That's what I am, laddie. Mostly Irish. Mostly an Irishman. Oh, aye. May the road rise up. Now that's like Scottish. I'm rolling my R's. Whatever. Potatoes. 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 Kissing the Blarney Stone. Oh, aye. Eating my potatoes. Heading down to the pub. Have myself a pint. Go home, eat a boiled potato. Have myself a tater. Live in Scotland? Oh, aye, laddie. The proud race of the Scots. One of the only forces to stand up to the Empire of England during its ascendancy. Oh, aye, laddie. We took axe in hand and drove them back to their part of the island. That's right. That's right. Trump is coming to Ireland in November. Cool. Enjoy it. Keep him. Convince him to stay there and become your president. When did you make the switch to vaping? I started vaping in 2012. December of 2012. Can I give you... If I give you my head... What? I don't know what you're talking about, bro. If you cut off the head of a Scottish Highlander, you'll become immortal. If you cut off the head of an Irishman, you just become forever drunk. Let me find an Irishman then. That would be cool. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and end this. It's been about an hour. Let you guys go. See you later.